This is Chris Hume with Truth Out. Recently, the South Dakota State Legislature passed a bill which the governor signed into law, a law which criminalizes a woman's right to have an abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. This is a direct assault on an established Supreme Court decision, and it puts the fate of women's voices all over the country into jeopardy. So why am I standing in the Badlands of South Dakota on the Pine Ridge Reservation? Well, it is here that one woman, Cecilia Firethunder, president of the Oglala Lakota Nation, is mounting the first major challenge to this extreme law. Do you know about what's going on over at Pine Ridge?
I have read about it in the newspaper. I haven't read a whole lot about it, so...
Do you know what's going on over at Pine Ridge with President Firethunder?
No.
They did say that the tribal president is going to try to put up an abortion clinic in the reservation.
Oh, really? I didn't
Did you
know
hear
that.
that?
What do you know about President Firethunder's proposal to build a clinic on the reservation?
I think it's beneficial to the community, and not only that, it also shows a strong stand for sovereignty, and it's an effective way to show sovereignty, and that's always a big issue here.
I want to be very clear that I am doing this on a personal level. This is not something that the tribe is supporting or endorsing at this time. I'm not asking them to. But as the leader of this nation and as a woman, I felt it was my responsibility to speak out on this dark ages kind of decision that was made, especially around rape and incest.
I think a woman has a right to choose for herself, whether she wants to or not. And especially in the case of rape or incest, I think that there should be every reason to go ahead and have an abortion.
I agree. It's a woman's choice. I don't believe in abortion myself, but if I was raped and I didn't want it, I would.
This clinic, the abortion clinic that I proposed on this reservation was going to be on my land. And I proposed it for the women of western South Dakota, not necessarily Indian women. This is for women of all races, a place for them to come to receive those services that they need.
I think a woman has a right to do what she wants with her body. I don't think anybody should tell you what you can and can't do, especially with regards to rape and incest. And
Or even if it is the woman's body or life is threatened because of it.
What town are we in right now?
You're in Kadoka, South Dakota.
And in this part of the state, what's the general opinion about something like that?
I don't know. It varies, of course. I think, and a lot of the people around here kind of feel the way I do.
Which is what?
Which is if the woman wants an abortion, that's her prerogative.
You're putting this clinic on reservation land, on your land, and how does that play into South Dakota law?
Well, actually, we are a sovereign nation, and we are under the federal jurisdiction. So Roe versus Wade is still a federal jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. So if South Dakota outlaws it and continues to outlaw it, and if they don't overturn it in the Supreme Court, it is still it's not a federal offense, and so we are bound by federal law on the reservation.
So in effect, South Dakota law can't touch you?
They can't.
They say that this law in South Dakota was pretty much passed to test the Roe versus Wade or something, mm-hmm. and so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
How much support are you getting from just the members of the tribe?
Well, amazingly, I have a lot of support, men and women.
She's going to face a lot of opposition, though. I imagine there's a lot of anti-abortionists in the state, and I think they outnumber those who are pro-choice.
I'm against abortion. So I says it all at one time.
Okay, but in this case, the law, even if a woman gets raped or something, they won't allow it to happen. What do you think of that?
I've got pills for that, right away.
But
next day. That's not abortion. That's next day you take the pill and it's done, right?
A woman who's been raped can receive the emergency contraceptive pill. It's a series of pills you can take that will prevent the pregnancy from going forward. Well, how many people know about that? And so we need to make sure that our community and our women know about that.
Some people don't like Cecilia simply because of the fact she is a woman, and it is something new. Politically and just ideologically, she's radically different than I can say all of the tribal presidents that have come before her, and she is the first woman tribal president we've ever had. So this is an entirely new thing we're looking at.
I don't know if you know the statistics, but Indian women are raped at a greater rate than all other races of women. That's the Department of Justice statistic.
It's easy to focus on the bleak things, that we live in a very poor place, that we have an incredibly high suicide rate. This is known as one of the most rugged reservations in all of Indian country, but there's a lot of beauty here too.
How can people out there help? Is there a website or an email address?
Yes, it's we have one called, it's Firthunder_president@yahoo.com.
They're doing a lot of good things down there on the res, and a lot of good's been happening all the way around.
And it's not just for the Indian women. It'll be for all women.
What, say that again?
I said it's not just for the Indian women she's doing it for, it's for all women.
We are human beings. We are capable of thought. We are capable of decision making. And when groups of people sit someplace and make decisions about you, then it's time to stand up and say, enough is enough. This is America. We're supposed to be a free nation. We're supposed to be able to make, so freedom is about making decisions for yourself. I want America to think about what freedom really is. I want women to think about it, that even on this reservation, in driving in, I can see for miles and miles. That's freedom. And to me, freedom is about making choices for yourself and for not anyone else to make the decisions for you.
We're Oglalas and Lakotas. We've always been resistant to any change that has come from externally off our reservation, off our treaty territory, and off our land as a whole. And I'm really proud of Cecilia Firethunder for taking this stance.
What are you going to call this place?
Well, we had some different names, and some of my other women said, let's call it Sacred Choices, because it is a sacred choice. When you choose to bring a human being into the world, that's a sacred choice.